I'm Brooke.
This episode of Bureaucratic Blazers covers the institutions that lie within the legislative branch and how they work together in American government.
First, we're going to outline some important concepts about the legislative branch, but be sure to take notes as we go because there will be a quiz later.
In the United States, we have a bicameral legislature, which means there are two chambers of Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Keep in mind that throughout this video, we will sometimes refer to the House of Representatives as just the House. Of course, that's not to be confused with when we refer to both chambers as houses plural or full house, or side attempt at a review, fuller house.
Right. So Congress and both the chambers were established under Article 1 of the Constitution. This article outlines the legislative branch by defining the House and the Senate.
Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution puts the House of Representatives in place. The House is made up of 435 representatives, which is the total number of representatives with respect to the population of each state. The Speaker of the House presides over the House, a position that is currently filled by Republican Paul Ryan. Representatives are elected by the citizens of their state and must run for election or re-election every 2 years, which if you really think about it is not a very long time in terms of job security. In order for someone to become a representative, they must be at least 25 years old to hold the position.
The Senate comes from Article 1, Section 3 of the Constitution and has 100 senators. That's 2 senators elected from each state so that they all have equal representation. The Senate is presided over by the Vice President. Currently that's Republican Mike Pence. In order for someone to run for Senate, they must be at least 30 years old. Once a senator is elected, they have a little more wiggle room than someone in the House, as they only have to run for re-election every 6 years.
It's important when talking about the House and the Senate to mention the difference in terms because this changes the nature of each House. The House of Representatives, which with 2-year terms, is usually forced to pay a lot of attention to their constituency, as they are almost always running for re-election. This is called being responsive.
On the other hand, senators have 6 years between elections, which means that they can focus on the needs of the United States for the majority of the term before having to worry about whether or not they will be re-elected. This focus shift from voters to the nation is called being responsible. However, senators are re-elected on a rotating basis so that every 2 years, 1/3 of the senators are finishing their 6-year term.
There is no limit to how many terms someone in the Senate or House may serve. This means that while there are plenty of senators who are being responsible to the needs of the nation, no senator can go completely rogue and ignore the constituency without risking losing their position in the upcoming election.
I hope you've been taking notes, because now it's time for that quiz.
Okay, first question. Who is the Speaker of the House?
Who's the Speaker of the House right now?
Yeah.
I feel so dumb right now. I do.
You know that.
I'm about to be in law school and I don't even know this question.
The current Speaker of the House. Oh, I had a feeling it was like this.
Paul Ryan.
Ding ding.
Yeah, all right. There you go. All right. There you go.
What are the 2 chambers of Congress?
Girl, I'm like still blank.
Two chambers of Congress. Let's see, we have the House and the Senate.
Yes. Good job.
Chambers of the
Yeah.
Senate and the House of
Yeah.
Representatives.
Senate and House of Representatives.
Ding ding.
Okay, who presides over the Senate?
Isn't it like the leader of like the minority party?
Majority Party?
Got it.
Let's see. Like, are you looking for one person? Or
Yeah, Mike.
Ding ding. Let's go.
Once a bill has been written, it must first be introduced in the House of Representatives. This process begins with the representative who wrote the bill gathering support from other representatives in hopes of getting a sponsor. Once a representative has a sponsor and the support of other representatives, the bill is ready to be introduced.
The bill is then placed in a special box on the bill clerk's desk called a hopper. The bill clerk then assigns it a number that begins with HR, and the speaking clerk presents the bill to all the representatives. The Speaker of the House then sends a bill to a House Standing Committee to be approved. These committees are made up of experts of different aspects of government like education and agriculture. These committees review and revise the bill before sending it back to the House of Representatives.
Once it is back on the House floor, the bill is then debated and discussed on what needs to be changed. Once the debate is over, the bill is ready to be voted on. Voting can be done by voicing aye or no, standing for approval, or with electronic voting devices. If the majority of the House votes yes, then the bill is certified and sent to the Senate.
The Senate goes through many of the same steps and then votes by voice. If the majority of the Senate voices yes, then the bill is sent to the President to be approved. If it is not approved, the bill will be sent back to the House for revisions. If the bill is approved, it is then made into law.
So for today, we've talked about the legislative branch and how it is bicameral with the House of Representatives and the Senate and their differences.
We have also talked about where they originate in the Constitution and how they come to pass a bill into law.
This has been Cameron.
And Brooke, thanks for stopping by.